So around 8 months ago, I made a handstand video on how I learned the handstand, and it got some good reception, and people wanted a tutorial on how to handstand. So here we go.
So you might be asking, what have I been doing in this time? I just disappeared for 7 months. But I just got my personal trainer certificate, so now I'm a licensed personal trainer. So we're gonna get to a handstand tutorial, a beginner handstand tutorial. So really you need nothing, you don't even need, you only need a wall and you need the floor. And I'm pretty sure everyone's got that. Sorry guys, I didn't realize I had proof that I can handstand, but I just forgot about it. So I'm gonna prove that I can handstand now, you know, just to be reputable. There you go. I can handstand. You want to see another one? You want to see another one? Alright, go for it. Okay, so your first task is to find a wall. That's easy enough, so we've got a wall. Second of all, we want to really just, as a beginner, you're like, oh shit, I can't even like kick up, like how kicking up is the scariest thing. So we've got a wall, so you definitely can't fall. Think about it that way. You just can't fall, you can't physically fall through the wall. You'll be alright. So second of all, we want to place our hands essentially not too far away from the wall, just like safe enough. So you don't want to be like here, because if you're here, if you kick up, you're actually going to fall because there's no wall for you. So you want to be about this distance. So you should have your hands about shoulder width apart and middle finger facing forward, and you go like this. Go on, feel comfortable. See how high you can go. So first of all, even if you just do this, that's perfect. So you kind of go like this until you feel a little bit more comfortable, and that might be today, that might be tomorrow. It doesn't matter until you feel comfortable. You then slowly go higher, yeah, and you kick up. And so once you've gone higher, at some point you want to kick up until you're like this. Oh shit! And that's the first time you've done it. So oh shit! Now I'm in like a weird position. I'm like, oh shit! I'm kind of on the wall, kind of not. And just to feel comfortable, you just kick off. You kick off and you kick back to your normal position. Okay. And most importantly, during these first 3 stages, I'd say, during the first 3 stages, don't even care about form. Like honestly, most people say, oh yeah, you know, work with form, but form is also a progression. So once you can progress by just improving your form, which is something people don't really understand, and they just want to get form right straight away. But screw the form, doesn't matter. Don't even think about that. So now, once you've been able to kick up to the wall, you're safe and you're happy kicking up to the wall. Now what we have to do is we just have to put some time in just holding our handstand on the wall. Now obviously this is looking like a banana, this is looking shit. You're like, Luai, what is this? This is like, you know, what are you trying to teach me? Your one doesn't even look nice. But this is, you know, trust the process, this is how it works. So now we'll just be going up to the wall. You want to build up to at least like 30 seconds of holding onto the wall. So of course, the first time you do it, the first and second and third and, you know, the next couple of days you do it, you're just going to be like, oh, I can hold it for about 5 seconds. So you really want to just fully straighten your arms and don't really care about the banana too much. But look, okay, so, oh shit, I held it for 5 seconds and I'm starting to get tired, and then you kick back off. And so, okay, so you've done your 5-second handstand. Next day you come back and you're like, okay, so let's see if we can do a little longer. So you kick up, you're like, oh, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling strong. And you're like, okay, I can hold it for 10 seconds today, or I'll try to hold it for 10 seconds today. And just keep both your feet on there, it doesn't really matter. And, oh, now my hands are starting to like, oh, I'm kind of losing balance, I'm kind of like tired, and then you fall, right? Yeah, okay, perfect. That's all you want. And then you progress until, obviously I'm not going to do a 30-second handstand on the wall, but you get the gist. Until you do a 30-second handstand with your feet on the wall. So once you've done the handstand holds on the wall and you're doing 30 seconds holds just, you know, with your feet on the wall, you want to change and switch from your back being to the wall to your chest being to the wall. Now I'll show you how that works and how that is. And so of course on this one it will be scary because you're like, oh, you know, this is quite scary. But first of all, you start this way. And you can start further away from the wall, and you walk up, yeah? So you walk up, and then you want to be like as comfortable as you want to be. So maybe if you want to start there, that's good. And then, you know, the next day you go to here, and that might be even better. And then you go up until you can really put your whole chest to the wall, and you want to hold it like this. And so you want to be able to hold it for 30 seconds. So once you can hold it for 30 seconds, you're good to progress to the next stage. So you can hold it that way, and then when you want to go down, you go like this, and you jump down. Or, if you do lose balance, I'll show you how to do it. You go, so you go back up, and let's say you're here, and you've lost balance, you're like, oh, you know, you're going too far. And then you just twist, turn, and fall. Yeah? Twist, turn, and fall, and then you're good. So now, you want to really learn to do flutter kick. You kick up, you're all the way on the back. And now, you want to kind of straighten and go like this. So you want to have one foot on the wall and the other foot just dangling in midair essentially. And then you want to move and transfer them. And so now at the start you might be like this, you know, going really quickly. And then you want to slow down. You want to make sure you get some air time essentially. And some of them might not work out well, but most of them you want to look like this. Yeah? And then once you've got air time, you can make it slower and slower, right? Until you got the handstand. So we want to perfect the kick up now. So just to make the kick up, you should be able to kick up quite easily now and hold it on the wall. But now we want you to kick up with one foot on the wall, and then use that alternating flutter kick to go back into one, and then hold the handstand for, you know, as long as you can essentially. And we just want you to do these kick-ups on repeat. So I'll show you what a kick-up looks like. One foot on the wall, and then, oh, see, I've messed that one up. Let's do it again. Alright. One foot on the wall, and then together. And then you could have done that for maybe like 1 second, exactly like me, like there. And now you kind of build up until you can do this. Alright, probably the most important stage in the handstand, stage 4. So stage 4 is the kick up and bailing stage, as well as getting comfortable holding a handstand. So there's 2 exercises to this stage, 2 primary exercises of course, and then the secondary ones I'll always fill in at the end. So the primary exercises are a bail. You need to learn to bail first, so that you get, accustomed to the handstand and you don't get scared to fall, essentially. So we'll show you a bail. So first time doing my handstand, I'm scared. First time without the wall, you know, there is fear. There's a lot of fear in handstand. But trust me, honestly, if you learn to bail, you'll be fine. So you choose either your right or your left side. So I always bail on my right side just because it feels natural. So you want to do a twisting motion and then falling. So, okay, so you get in normal position, you put your hands down, shoulder width apart, a little further than shoulder width apart, and you kick up like you would normally, and then you can either bail forward, so if you haven't kicked up far enough, you will just fall backwards, which is fine. That's easy. That's the natural way to do it. So we'll see that one more time. So okay, so you kick up, you don't kick up far enough. You're like, oh, okay, I fell down this way. Perfect. That's all right. Now the other way, you kick up and you kick up too far, so you're gonna fall backwards. Now, of course, the one thing you want to do, you don't want to do, is you hold and then you just fall straight on your back. That's stupid. Don't do that. What you want to do, obviously, don't pick a hard surface like me. First of all, pick the floor, pick some grass. That's a little more cushioned. Maybe even, chuck a cushion or 2 on it, just to make sure that you are protected. So, what you want to do is kick up. Okay, so I'm going to kick too far now. Yeah? I kicked too far. And there you go. That's all you want to do. See, even though I have a lot of momentum, you can still twist. Okay, so it comes with a pivot. So essentially, you're in this handstand position, and once you're falling this way, right? You're falling this way, you want to turn your hips. reps.
Oh, right. So chest to wall leans now. And this really is just a cue to get good form. So now that we've slowly worked on the handstand, we can now slowly get to doing good form and working on our form. So, just like the chest to wall handstand, you go up into the handstand position. Now you want to be a little bit further away from the wall, so about this far will do. And you make sure to keep your toes kind of on the wall, and your toes should be the only thing on the wall. And then while you kind of contract your abs and you slowly bring your toes, slide your toes down until you find a balance point and you lift off the wall. And then you go back to the wall. So that might be your first rep where it's your first time doing it. And then you slowly get to the point where you go like this and you hold it for a little longer. And then you can go back to the wall. And so that's kind of your reps. So there, and then hold it. And if you fall, then just fall down and twist and turn like we saw with the bailing. We twist, we turn, and we fall. And then that should be how it works. Alright, one last trick I forgot to talk about was using the flutter kicks, but doing them on the in the freestanding handstand. So you pretend you're doing a flutter kick, and then you go into the freestanding handstand. Now I'll show you how that works, but essentially, because you're doing the flutter kicks, you've got a lower center of gravity during that point, which means that it's easier to balance. So that's kind of a trick to get into the handstand, because most people find it difficult to get the sticking point. So essentially, you want to kick up and then kick up with one leg heavy on the front side and one leg on the back side, and then like this, and then readjust into a handstand. Yeah? And let me repeat that again. So kick up into a scissor and then readjust into a normal handstand. The biggest beginner mistake is definitely to go from the wall to the freestanding handstand too quickly. So I would definitely recommend sticking on the wall, and for sure do your 5 minutes of handstand practice on in the freestanding handstand, but get back to the wall for the extra sets.
Now for the perfect handstand, I'll show you exactly how to do it. So it's very similar to the hollow body hold, which means you want to tense your core. And I can show you just in this non-inverted position. So you want to tense your core fully. So instead of going like this is a banana handstand. You want to tense your core in a concave position. You want to point your feet. So you want to point your feet fully downwards, tense your core, and you want to reach up and fully extend. So not like this, but fully extend your scapula. So it looks like this. Yep. And then you kind of just hold that. So the way I explain the handstand is essentially, when you want to balance on your hands, you've got two movement methods like your feet do, right? So your foot has your toes as well as your heel to balance moving forward and backwards. Now in the handstand you only have your hands, right? So you only have your fingers, which are your toes essentially in this analogy. So your toes and your hand and your fingers can only push you backwards. They can't push you forwards. So we don't have a heel when we're balancing on in the handstand, which makes it more difficult. Which means we need to be careful once pushing this way, because if we push too far, there's no way to correct this way, or there's very little ways of correcting that way. So again, just holding with your feet, you can go this way and you can go this way. Now with the handstand, you can push with your fingers. You want your fingers not to be flat on the ground, but you want your fingers to be kind of in like a crouched kind of position, in a claw position, so that you can push with your fingers to move this way. Now be careful, because of course you can't push this way, but I'll show you how this works. So for the scapular push-ups, we really want to, I guess for the handstand, there's this, it's basically straight arm strength, which you're not really used to yet, which involves a lot of scapula, and you really want to fully extend your scapula, which if you don't have a strong scapula, that's kind of why you fall. So that's what we're going to be training here. So for your scapular strength, you want to do scapular push-ups. Now there's different variations for how hard it is. So first of all, the first variation would be just in a normal push-up position, and you just, while you keep your arm extended, and you just do these kind of scapular shrugs. And so once you can do those scapular push-ups, you can go onto the wall and do them on the wall upside down. This. While you keep your hands and your arms fully straight, you can still do scapular shrug. Second accessory exercise is for your core, and just to fully feel out the handstand position. Now, this one is just a hollow body hold, so it's a static exercise. So for the hollow body hold, you want to put your feet out and pointing forwards, as well as lifting up your lifting up your shoulder blades so that they're not touching the floor. So, and then extending your arms fully this way. Now you hold that position for as long as possible, maybe 10 seconds, maybe 30 seconds, and you build up to like a 30-second hold. This is really good for your core and to show you exactly how to do the handstand position, because it basically simulates the handstand position on the ground. So like this. And you want to have your hands, you can have your hands here, that makes it easier to put your hands back, which is kind of what you want to do. And you kind of just want to hold it like this.
So a lot of people have been asking me about calisthenics coaching, and I didn't want to start coaching before I got my certificate, but now that I do, and now that I have my education, I feel ready to coach. And so essentially I wanted to see how I could coach in a form where it provided the most value. So I wanted to create a calisthenics, essentially a calisthenics dictionary, where we had every skill laid out with steps and workouts and tutorials to achieve that skill, as well as coaching calls where I would coach and correct form throughout that coaching. So if you're interested in this calisthenics coaching community, please look in the link in the description. I've got a website up describing it more in depth, and if you are interested, join the waiting list, because of course right now I can't add everyone into it straight away. Now if you want to see another tutorial or any other tutorials or what kind of videos you want to see, let me know, and hope you enjoyed.